category is the socially isolated people. We call just so-called social isolated people. It's the category of people who are not in the financial system for different reasons. If they go to the bank, they would be rejected, like housewives, a lot of big army of housewives, former convicted people, former military people. As you may know, or you may not know, military people go on retire very early at 40s or 45s when they're really, full of energy. And various handicapped people also. So there's three groups which, that's how we internally divided what we need to do. So I want to focus now on one initiative product which we developed, and it makes, actually that's the last question which I'm supposed to answer about how impact investing can help us to face different challenges and overcome challenges. So the third, social isolated people, we created the initiative where we target the audience, housewives, former convicted people, former military, and various handicapped people with the Card Hassan. As you may know, Card Hassan is the interest-free loan, and we deliver it throughout the country in all our branches. So, but we don't deliver it just like that. In every village, we created the so-called village councils, consist of very reputable, social active entrepreneurs, with most of them they have good credit history with us, who want to help. Okay, so they, every month, among 5 to 10 applicants in all hundreds of branches, they choose the best applicants, and they participate in this. So it is also another impact that we mobilize community. So when the person who never received financing in the past, and they have in this category, they really don't feel comfortable, we boost some confidence, and then the socially active entrepreneurs who in this village council, they also give confidence to people to start up their business. I want to share one story where one of our, well, now he's our customer, he got into prison unfairly, and in 6 months he came back. He had a 90-year-old father who was blind, 3 kids, and housewife. She did not make any money. So he had a flower business which ruined while he was 6 months in the prison. So, and when he came back, of course, out of 5 applicants, our village council approved this Card Hassan loan to this individual who is to restore his business. So the idea is in the countries like Kyrgyzstan, where is not much financial financing available for a lot of people, we believe that impact investing is about creating a future market. So by Card Hassan, you give opportunities, you help them stand on their feet, and then suddenly from the second or third cycles, you can go into the commercial operations. So I think my time's up, right? So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Brother Babur. Do we have time for Q&A? We're very short for time, but I believe, no, we don't. I believe we can take one question. If anyone has a question in the audience. I can't see very clearly, but okay, that's good. That's great. Okay, so in conclusion, I think there's a lot of fascinating insights and food for thought for the team at the UNDP to consider. If I may just say, to wrap up, whilst the discussion points were mentioned, there's a lot of commercial opportunities for Islamic finance to tap into in impact investing in the broader ethical finance arena. We must remember it's also an opportunity for Islamic finance to address the creeping cynicism and aspirational dissatisfaction that it finds within the industry. The sector has successfully embedded version 1.0 of Islamic finance, which is based on negative screening. However, now is the opportunity, I believe, for the next 20 to 30 years for the new stakeholders, the new practitioners to decide whether they want to imitate or innovate and to move beyond mere compliance. Positive screening, impact investments, example of the SRI Sukuk, as Kazan has done, and indeed so has the World Bank, who've issued a very successful Islamic social impact bond. These are great examples that could present a way forward for Islamic finance. And in this regard, I definitely look forward to the contributions of the platform the GIF-IIP towards that. For us at the Islamic Finance Council UK, this is something that we have coined as tayyib. If we see in Quran, it's mentioned halal and tayyib, and halal being one gradation, but also a deeper gradation of tayyib. And I think this is something which can inspire us to look at having a deeper shade of green, or a more impactful form of financial investment. At an ontological level, we have to remember that there are understandings around the purpose of wealth within the Islamic framework. And so often I comment, you cannot put barakah into an Excel sheet. You can't do a DCF on barakah. So these factors have to be incorporated, and they sit very well with the concept of impact investing that our panelists have shared today. Now, more than ever, I believe people from across different faiths are ready to listen to this message. And whilst at a theological level, principles of Islamic finance are well aligned with social consciousness, the challenge for the panelists here and the practitioners at the banks and the speakers before is for the Islamic finance stakeholders, the banks, the participatory banks, to translate this into the professional services market and have an Islamic finance that can appeal to beyond the Muslim consumer. And I think that's very pertinent considering the remarks of the President earlier today in his speech. I think he provided some very insightful comments on the challenges in Western countries, and coming from London earlier this morning, I think the need to move to a common ground that's anchored on a shared values basis is key to building bridges and bringing communities together, and based on our common humanity, and directly challenging those who have right-wing agendas and those who seek to divide us. So in conclusion, in this space, in social impact and impact investing, we believe that this us align our financial objectives on a common social cause, and I'd like to commend the UNDP's initiative on this. And I'd like all of you to join me to give a very warm round of applause to all of our panelists. Thank you very much.
Thank you to our great moderator and our panelists for this great session. Now I would like to kindly invite Mr. Ergin Beceren, the Vice Chair of the Executive Board of International Cooperation Platform, to present the plug of our moderator and our panelists.